Go.
This is story time with me, Destin Lee.
Now read it. Read it.
Once upon a time, he was eating pork chop, and the pork chop melted, and he wasn't disgusting, and he didn't eat believing in sharing.
I can't hear you.
And when he was there, and he lifted the books up, and they were too heavy. And when he lifted them up, he was too heavy. And when the books got up, they were talking together. They were in the bathroom, and they were washing their hands. And when they were in the bathroom, they had to get the soap on because they forgot it. And they were here, and actually their friend was there, and the Lucas came there and got their own friend. And one day, they were in the toilet, and somebody flushed them down, and they flushed them down, and when they went to the treatment water plant, and when they were there, they were flushing around in there, and they popped out of it, and they just was rolling back to their house. And when their mom was there, she said, "Don't even look him." And when they were there, they told the fireman to come here, and when the fireman was here, they broke a little glass thing on their head. And they were there, and he peeked out of his cell, and a little pokey thing was poking behind him, and he looked back, and it was his finger, and when he did that, he said, "Oh, what can be poking me?" They were like the curliest string, and they peeked out of their cell. A little peeking snail peeked out of his own cell. A little peeking monster, and the peeking monster went to McDonald's to eat the whole thing of dinner. He went to McDonald's, but the Lucas didn't come. But when he didn't come, he was crying, and he wasn't, and he took his medicine, and he floated it down through his throat, and he was tasting it, and it tastes like, it tastes a little icky. And when he was there, he peeked out of his paper, and the paper flooded right in his mouth. And when his dog was outside, and he knocked a little clock down, and when the clock was there, he just flooded in right to the house. And when the boomer was there, he was flooding it through the toilet, and the dog was like, "Papa." And when he was there, he looked behind him, and he was like, "What was that behind me?" And he could be gone, and when he was there, and he saw, "What is my stuff doing right there all night?" And he was there, and the guy was making fire, and the fire flooded right to his house, and the guy got all burned up and right into smoke. And when the guy was there and they looked behind them and the fire was behind them, and he said, "Where are we?" And when they were there, they were like reading that book, and it peeked at him, and the book started to melt, and it got feet going up. He put lipstick all over him, and the lipstick flooded right on his hat, and when it flooded right on his light, and the wicky old light flooded out and burned out. He had peeking out of the tree, and he saw something. It was his favorite thing, like, oh, I know what that is.
What was it?
He says it was a freedom park, and he was playing in it, and when he got there, he slipped right down the slide, and he got there, and the look-see wasn't very good, but the talking mouse was in, like, a little property house, and the working men was in there, and they said, "Oh, it might be one of the working men's house." And they were just saddling and right on the door. And saddling, walking into freedom. And they singing a song, and they said, "Boop, boop, boop." And the song, they started to melt, and it sounded like, oh,